Well, the whole yard needed to be redone. One of the big issues on what I call the dark side of the house was the drainage. Plus, this wall was cinder blocks before. It was leaning slightly, so we needed to reinforce it somehow. The challenge in getting it done was finding the right person who understood what we needed. Had several people who came and said they would give us bids. They looked at the property. We never got a bid. We had the one start and then stop. And that's when we honestly started looking on the internet, came across Clearview. Chris was extremely dependable. When, we'd sent basically an email, they called, set up an appointment. He was right on time, which I always appreciate. It was great because he would listen. He was good about steering us in the right direction, because that's why we hire experts to do this stuff. It just seemed to make sense to have more of the concrete, so much low maintenance to it, and it just really looks nice. Chris's workers were great, very polite, on time. I couldn't ask for a nicer crew that was here, because we really wanted a fairly low maintenance house. We had artificial grass put in. We had grass here before that would never grow because of the trees. With the wall before, it was cinder block, and we did the cut stone on it, so we tiered it down just to make it look nicer. This is the side of the house that when it rains, the water would collect. So instead of just doing the underground pipes, the idea was to go a little bit more artistic. So we put in the dry river creek bed, and all the downspouts plumb into the dry river creek bed. And with all the rain that we had this year, the drainage worked perfectly. We did not have any of the pooling of the water anymore like we did. So because we had the dry river creek bed, I wanted to enclose the front yard a little bit. So we had this retaining wall put in. The gate mimics the porch. So now when I look out my kitchen window, it's very much my own little front yard oasis. For us, it's maintenance free because underneath all the mulch, we have basically the gopher protection wire. We have the coating to keep the weeds out. We have a drip system that's basically along all of the plants. So as far as having to deal with weeds or lawns, we won't have to do that. Santa Barbara weather on decks is not conducive between the sun and the fog, even though this is Brazilian wood. His crew sanded it down and re-oiled it and brought it basically back to its natural look when we first had the deck put in. We also redid the driveway, which I think looks great. The gate that was here before was a low gate, so we went ahead and had a gate put here, which also mimics the fence in the backyard, that it's horizontal, it's all faced off. So I just love the gate. It finishes off that side of the house. The one thing I certainly appreciated with Chris was at the end of the project being able to go to the nursery. I had an idea of the plants I wanted, and he was very good about telling me which ones wouldn't work in the yard, which ones would. Chris has an artistic eye as far as how he places the plants. I think he's a perfectionist, which is great because I think the yard looks awesome. It's my little oasis. It gives me my serenity. I can sit out here with a glass of wine, read a book. It's very peaceful.